Welcome to the deep dive. So you've got the Block Inc. Q3 earnings call transcript, specifically the CEO's opening remarks. Our job today, filter everything else out. No financials, no Q&A deep dive, no CFO talk. We're zeroing in purely on the high-level strategy for Square. What's the roadmap? Where are they heading with local commerce?
Right. And the first thing that jumped out, even before any product stuff, was the shift in how they're presenting. The CEO's opening was pretty brief, actually, but he explicitly said they plan to bring in more voices from across the company.
Yeah, I saw that. He specifically named Owen Jennings, the business lead, and Nick Mulmar, sales and marketing. That feels significant, doesn't it? Like a deliberate choice to focus more on how the product, the go-to-market, not just the top-line numbers.
Exactly. It signals the strategy is the product story now. Yeah. And he framed that story right away, referencing the shareholder letter. The core idea for Square isn't just payments anymore. It's about building this whole ecosystem to deliver for sellers. The phrase was powering the neighborhood.
Powering the neighborhood. Okay, that sounds like the big theme. So let's break down how they plan to do that. Pillar number one seems to be this network idea.
That's right. The network advantage. It's all about connecting sellers and consumers at scale in a way that we believe only Block can. That's the direct quote.
Only Block can. So they're playing on that unique position of having both Square for sellers and Cash App for consumers.
Precisely. It's the integration play. They're not just putting a terminal on the counter. They want to create this closed loop between where people spend their money and where businesses operate.
And the tool for that, the specific product, is Neighborhoods on Cash App, which they announced at Square releases.
Mm-hmm.
And the scale here is, well, it's huge. They're tapping into Cash App's 58 million monthly active users.
Yeah, 58 million.
Yeah.
That's an instant audience for any Square seller who joins this Neighborhoods thing. It's not just a big number. It's, people actively using the app.
Okay, so what's in it for the seller? Why would they care?
Well, the pitch is pretty compelling. They basically get a sophisticated mobile app presence, almost like an enterprise-level tool. They can create their own local rewards programs, customize them, and push them out directly through Cash App.
So it's like free marketing tools built right in. Free discovery reaching those 58 million people.
Kind of, yeah. Free marketing, discovery, and crucially, a way to build loyalty with those customizable rewards. But the really interesting part...
Processing rate.
Exactly. They're offering a 1% processing rate for orders that come through this Neighborhoods feature in Cash App. 1%.
1%. Okay, that sounds really low compared to standard card rates, nearly 3% plus fees?
Right. It's hard to see how 1% even covers their basic costs like interchange. So you have to ask, why do it?
Okay, why do they do it?
It's a strategic subsidy. They're essentially buying growth and, maybe more importantly, data and control. They might lose a bit on the transaction itself, but they gain a seller locked into their ecosystem. They get visibility into everything.
So the payment is the hook, but the real value for Block is getting the seller to use their other stuff like software, loans, inventory tools.
Precisely. It's a classic loss leader strategy designed to build that dependency and make it really hard for competitors who don't have a massive consumer app like Cash App to match that price. It's about platform lock-in.
Makes sense. So pillar one is build the network, lock in the sellers with low rates and integrated tools, which leads nicely into pillar two, right?
Yeah.
If you have all this data.
You use it. Pillar two is about AI, delivering AI tools to put seller operations, finances too, more on autopilot.
Autopilot. So moving beyond just processing payments to actually helping run the business.
Yeah, exactly. Think about small business owners. What's their most valuable resource? Time. So the goal here is automation, using AI to handle tasks that eat up hours every week.
And they've branded this Square AI, positioned as a sort of business partner built into the tools they already use.
Not a separate app, but integrated. The promise is getting insights in minutes that used to take, digging through spreadsheets for hours.
Okay, so what are the concrete examples here? What AI features did they actually announce?
They've highlighted two main ones at Square releases. First, an AI-driven order guide.
An order guide? How does that work?
Yeah.
What problem is that solving for, say, a small cafe owner?
Okay, imagine that cafe owner. Right now, they're probably manually tracking coffee bean usage, milk, pastries sold. Try and guess how much to order for next week. Order too much, stuff spoils. Order too little, you miss sales. It's a constant headache.
Right.
The AI order guide looks at past sales, seasonality, maybe even local events, current inventory, and says, okay, based on everything, you should order this much coffee, this much milk, ideally before you even realize you're running low.
So it takes the guesswork out of inventory, turns it into something passive.
That's the idea. Maximize sales, minimize waste. Huge potential impact on the bottom line.
Okay, that's one. What was the second AI feature?
Voice ordering. This one seems aimed squarely at peak times, like the lunch rush or Friday night dinner service.
Voice ordering.
Yeah.
So automating phone calls.
Yeah. Picture a busy restaurant. Staff are running around, taking orders at the counter, dealing with delivery drivers, and the phone is just ringing off the hook with takeout orders. This AI would potentially answer the phone, take the order, confirm it, and pop it straight into the Square system.
Freeing up staff to actually deal with the customers who are physically there or packing orders.
Exactly. It's an efficiency play during those make-or-break busy periods.
So if you tie this back, the AI strategy isn't just about fancy tech. It's about embedding Square so deeply into the operation of the business.
That leaving becomes incredibly painful.
Mm-hmm.
You might switch payment processors if you save 0.5%, but would you switch the AI that runs your inventory and takes your phone orders? That's a much bigger leap.
It's like vendor lock-in, but for your core operations.
Vendor lock-in 2.0, maybe.
Yeah.
And that level of integration, that control, flows right into the third pillar they talked about, vertical integration in software. Basically, making the whole system work together seamlessly because they build all the parts.
Right. They made a pretty bold claim here, didn't they? Something about being the only company.
Yeah, they stated they believe they're the only company that designs the hardware, operating system, software, commerce capabilities, and financial tools for sellers. Quite a statement.
Okay, that's a lot of jargon. Let's translate. What does that vertical integration actually mean for the small business owner on the ground? What's the benefit?
It means things just work together. Think about the alternative. You might have a payment terminal from one company, scheduling software from another, maybe a delivery platform integration from a third, your online menu from a fourth.
And getting them all to talk to each other is a nightmare.
Always. Constant glitches, data doesn't sync, things break. Because Block controls everything, the physical device, the software on the device, the back-end commerce tools, the financial services. They can make it all work as one unified system.
So updates are smoother. New features roll out faster because they don't have to coordinate with 5 different companies.
That's the claim. They can move faster and serve more customers in a differentiated way.
Yeah.
The differentiation comes from that seamlessness that competitors struggle to replicate.
And this integration underpins the new software features they announced, designed to make the platform stickier.
Right, like multi-channel menu management. Super important if you sell in-store, online, maybe through social media. You change the price once, it updates everywhere.
Saves a ton of time and errors. And the unified third-party delivery management.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who's worked in a restaurant knows the pain of having, like, 3 different tablets dinging for DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub.
Chaos.
Total chaos. This promises to bring all those orders into one place, managed within Square. Big improvement for workflow and sanity.
They also mentioned kiosks, improved kiosks.
And they put a number on it, which was interesting. They said the new kiosks lead to 30% faster order times.
30% faster. That's not trivial. That's more customers served, potentially higher sales during peak times.
Exactly. It's a tangible benefit tied directly back to that integrated hardware and software they control.
Sure.
It's not just a minor tweak. It's improving core operational speed.
Okay, let's pull back for a second. We've talked about the network advantage using Cash App, the AI autopilot features, and this deep vertical integration. If you put it all together, what's the big picture? What's the strategic story they're telling us about Square's future?
I think it's a really clear pivot. They're signaling strongly that Square is moving way beyond just being the company with the little white card reader, a simple transaction processor. They are positioning Square as like an indispensable operating system for small businesses, a growth partner.
An operating system, that's a powerful idea.
Yeah. The goal seems to be to embed themselves so deeply, handling payments, inventory, orders, marketing, scheduling, that leaving their ecosystem becomes almost unthinkable for a seller. It's about creating ultimate stickiness.
Okay, that definitely clarifies the strategic direction. So here's something for you, the listener, to think about. If Block actually pulls this off, if they successfully weave that massive 58 million Cash App user base into the fabric of local commerce through these neighborhoods, what kind of unexpected network effects could that unleash? What happens when consumers aren't just paying at local stores via Block, but discovering, interacting, getting rewards, all within that single ecosystem? How might that truly reshape local business beyond just payments?
It really asks if they can turn every local shop into a connected node in their own centrally managed digital neighborhood. It's a pretty fundamental question about where local commerce is headed.
Something to chew on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Block's strategic blueprint for Square. We'll catch you on the next one.